I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions. Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone. Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense why he did curl.
Well, we got to not kill that. It's got to just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4 foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I
think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the red guards back. Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's going to go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does.
Okay, so it might, yep. Close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and show what we meant instead of just shouting out a number or like play this hit and roll kind of thing. We had to show everything, so that added another level, I guess, to our game. After that, we've been a little better when the crowd is loud or when you can't hear as well.
Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions. And battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone.
Whoa! Whoa! Girl! Easy! Whoa!
Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense when I did curl.
Last rock, 8th in. From the tie to Isabel Verano. Two remain. Undefeated Brett.
Good evening, everyone, from the Mattamy Athletics Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We're at the AMJ Players Championship, the last leg of the Grand Slam of Curling Tour. 12 of the top men's and women's teams on the planet vying to take the last Grand Slam title. I am Tyler George, joined in the booth by a glass of Coke and a bag of popcorn, although the handsome John Collin is just off to my left and the lovely Chelsea Carey to his left. But there's no one on the headset next to me, so you get all me all the time tonight. Big feature matchup. Team Retornaz taking on Team Epping over on Sheet D. See the lineups here to start things off for Team Epping. At lead, Ian McMillan. Second, Tanner Horgan. Third, Jake Horgan. And at skip, John Epping. For Team Retornaz, Mattia Giovanella at lead. At second, Sebastiano Arman. Third, Amos Mosaner. And the skip, Joel Retornaz. Draw to the button still going on here as Sportsnet TV game is paused for a later start. Our feature matchup will be getting going shortly. Team Retornaz coming off a bit of a disappointing World Championship, but they have their Olympic spot locked up. They will be competing as the home country, Cortina Milan in the 26 games. And starting to filter into the building. You see a lot of red jackets from national Canadian athletes behind the sheet in support of their squads, and it's Korea night as well here in the arena. We'll be celebrating Team Korea. There you see the Canadian athletes down in the Jackpot City Casino Lounge area behind the sheets. Lively crew getting ready for curling action.
Welcome to draw number 11 here at the AMJ Players Championship. We have the best curlers in the world under one roof, so let's meet the teams competing in draw 11, starting on sheet B. First up, throwing the yellow rock.
Your MC Robbie Doherty getting things going for this Thursday night draw. Retornaz at 0-3. Dire straits. Possibly trying to get into a tiebreaker scenario if they can with a 2-3 record. Team Epping 3-0. Definitely looking to punch their ticket to the playoff round with another win. 3-2, likely safe, but a fourth win would certainly lock up that playoff spot for them.
Coming in with a record of 0-3 from Trentino, Italy, Team Retornaz.
Epping will have the home crowd behind them this evening. We'll hear the crowd cheer as Robbie Doherty announces their team as we speak. Just about ready to get things underway in this matchup over on sheet D.
Mr. Melvin Lee.
We'll let Joel and John handle a lot of the heavy lifting tonight too.
빨간색 스코어를 던지는 영승 3패 기록 줄을 깨서 팀 슈아라. 그리고 노란색 스코어를 던지는 2승 0패 강릉시청 팀.
Guest MC for the night for Korea night, announcing the Korean teams as well. A lot of Korean flags in the building. Team Ha and Team Kim facing off against each other over on sheet A in an all-Korea matchup. Now the team's ready to exchange pleasantries and take the ice. With this being the last event on the tour season, much different vibe than what you may be used to seeing other major competitive events. Without the pressure of the World Championships or Olympic qualification ahead for these teams. Just able to go out there, let it fly, have a little more fun, enjoy downtown Toronto. Of course, the always easier schedule with the slams as well, but with the 12-team field, 2 pools of 6 as opposed to pools of 4 or 5. So a 5-game round robin for these teams as opposed to the customary 4. We are ready to get things underway. Team Epping will have a hammer by virtue of winning the last shot draw before the game. Mattia Giovanella will get things going for his Italian squad. Veteran skip Joel Retornaz with the broom down. See Coach Ryan Fry on the bench behind his Italian charges, trying to get his team ready for representing their country at home in Italy in the 26 games. Center guard for Giovanella right on the center line. That is in the no-tick zone. Cannot be moved off of the center line. The first 5 shots of the end.
Stay close, Jake.
Lydian McMillan throwing this out-turn draw off the wall side. Right to the top of the button underneath center guard.
Tira la 3, tira. Tira la 3, o tira, non so perché mi sono sbagliato. Tiro la 7, e tutte 1-8.
Yeah, nice shot.
5-6. Oh. Ju. There's not.
In-turn once again for Giovanella. Trying to lock on this stone on the top of the button.
Hard. Bomba, Ju.
Bounces it to the open, it rolls off a little bit.
Want to try and get low? Solid through.
Che devo già mai soldi al Peloia. Bestia.
McMillan coming around, looking to either tap this out or tap it back. Again on the in-turn side.
Yep. Solid through. Let me down. Whoa, Curl. Curl.
Tanner Horgan trying to carve this over and get a little inside roll. Really well done. Good position early on in this game for Team Epping, and Retornaz bailing already. They don't like the way things are lining up, so playing the run.
Hit. Height.
It's not make the run, rolls off to an extreme corner.
Draw, open. Probably.
Epping calling just a draw to the open side. One thing trying to maintain a 2 in this end is those rocks bunched up in the center. Probably a fairly makeable double, but can definitely get a 2-point end set.
I see him there. Weight's good. Yeah, we're there. Top 4-ish. Curl, curl, curl. Whoa.
Trying to get to even up with rocking the top of the 4-foot. Good result there. Retornaz looking to play the hit and roll to the middle off of the side yellow counter.
Non più grossa nel terzo.
Sebastiano Armand playing big weight, so either a very flat roll or the double.
I'll put a mess.
Ends up right between. Rolls all the way out across the house.
Gonna give you a hair last. This should run a little better. Yeah.
I think thinking that wore that path down a little bit with the previous draw, so this one should run a little better, he says. Tanner Horgan's second. Tanner, an accomplished pianist, did not know that until his appearance at House of Hearts charity event in Duluth, the hotel lobby.
Top 8. Top 4. Well then, right here. Well, top 4.
And stops in a very similar spot to the first one. Good consistency from Horgan.
Cuarto.
Looks like the same shot here, this time for Amos Mosaner. Third quattro, looking for quarter rock.
Forte Rava. Forte Gabora. Fight.
This one makes contact with the back one and does make the double. Good shot there from Mosaner.
Okay, by this point, I think
Epping will try to replace once again.
Height 14.5 on this. Did you say you got a 14.5 on?
Other games on the sheets for this evening draw tonight. Ha taking on Gim, over on sheet A. Anderson and Holman, two teams that are very familiar with each other as well, on sheet B. Schwaller and Kim on sheet C, and of course our feature matchup you're watching, Retornaz and Epping
Easy if you can.
on sheet D. And you see Jake Horgan,
Really holding. Really holding.
the younger brother, playing the intern draw
Want to go deep?
to the wing.
Nope. Go. Go.
Sweepers trying to decide if they want to go deep and make this a thinner double. They go all the way to back 12. So similar type double to what was just made by Mosaner.
Cuarto. Terzo, okay. Terzo. Whoa.
And made once again. Great shot from the big man.
Same weight.
So it was looking like a 2 for Epping. Now looking like a blank with the back-to-back doubles made by Mosaner. So Jake Horgan will play the draw to the opposite side this time and give Retornaz a different look.
Yeah.
Pieno. 10.
Gets to the 8-foot so open hit for the veteran skip, Joel Retornaz.
Pieno. Oh, 10.
This team has had a lot of success in Grand Slams in the past. A couple of years ago when they reached the #1 ranking in the world, won 3 consecutive slams. Trying to find that magic again before they get to the Milan Cortina Games.
Oh, sì. Yep. Continua Rama. Hi. Continua Rama. Hi.
Enjoying Joel's hat, says trucks. Not sure what type of trucks we're talking about, if that's a sponsorship or he just really likes trucks. Get any chance to interview him in the future, that's going to be #1 on the list of questions.
Sto lato qua gira un po' le push. A parte la tua che forse è perché era solo un po' secca, che non la gira tanto.
No, longa extra giocata perché di là che la gira un po' di pugo da tanto test, però era anche secca.
So open out turn hit now for the skip, John Epping.
No.
Laying in his home territory. Great support from the home crowd for John and his squad. Picking the weight up to try to take the ice out of it. Rolls over to the opposite wing.
La buona velocità.
Retornaz is last, just looking to hit and stick. Open hit.
Yep. Yep. Hi. Hi.
Rolls towards the center line. That will leave Epping a little longer roll to get off the paint for his blank here in the first.
Già sposta un po' di bocce qui,
9-7.
9 metri. Ve le doppiamo. Quant'è che avete le percentuali qui?
Epping going with the in-turn for the blank. This is his final stone of the opening end of our feature matchup.
Yep.
Sets it on the line.
Clean.
Should be just fine for John. We will have a blank there in the first end. Retornaz Epping 0-0 on to the second.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Open first end with a couple big doubles by Amos Mosaner. Ends up with a blank for Team Epping. They have hammer here in the second end. Mattia Giovanella going back to the center guard once again. And Epping again putting the broom down for the come around draw, really wanting to beat Retornaz in. This one looking a little on the short side from McMillan.
I want to be open if I can. It just doesn't have a follow through on those.
Just stopped short of the rings. Usable stone.
Linea un po', linea un po'.
Linea buona.
Linea buona. Vicina, linea, vicina.
Linea buona.
Out turn, come around draw for Giovanella. And to bury underneath his own center guard. Good chance to be first in after McMillan's came up short.
Come on, get very soft. Senti se me lo prendo.
Have the same speed on the other side. Top half you. Yeah.
So Epping now forced to chase. Freeze with McMillan's second.
Quant'era la questione? Sì, no, non so se una perché la
Hard line. Hard line.
We've got confirmation from my good friend John Cullen to my left here that this hat that we're all fond of from Joel Retornaz is just one he found at a thrift shop. Just thought it was funny because it just said trucks. We don't know if he does have an affinity for trucks, but he does have an affinity for that hat. Well aware that Joel has a good sense of humor, so no surprise there. Apparently hat is made by a YouTube channel called Donut Media. So they must like trucks.
Dove?
Mini bounce, bounce.
Giù, Mattia. Giù. Vai, Desnar.
8-9.
Hard line. Oh, batem bene.
Corner freeze attempt from Armand. Ticks off the yellow, settles into the top of the forefoot.
Can we kill one and stay on the nose? Or that, yeah.
Just jam it.
Carve.
12.
He decided independently to go around. You thought it's they probably thought it's like top. They called octo, which is back four. And when they called that, I called carve. Like I wanted to still hit the yellow, and he swept the line.
Tanner Horgan out turn side. He's going to get these rocks moving. The red cornered on the red. We'd love to bump these around. See a little sweat on the brow from Tanner. It is warm out there in the arena. It's warm here in the booth as well. And Isabella Rana in the booth earlier today talked about how it's great temperature for skips, but the players are getting a little warm.
Penso che giocare ancora qua.
Sì.
5. Aspetta per linea.
6. Le mini bump.
Armand trying to freeze up to that pocket once again. This has a ways to curl, so sweeping to hold straight. Not really sure what to do with it now, but may be able to get both of those going.
No, a parte che le scicche.
Can't try and hit there.
Però scaventa sempre a margine. Ho visto. Con la mea, la seconda. Era un po' stretta.
He's going to hit full under.
Sport l'ha fatto un bello per curl,
I need a little more. I want to kill it, though.
Meno era smalaccio.
I want to kill it.
Qualche.
Looking to kill the stone in the top of the 8-foot. Roll a couple inches in. Get the old Mickey Mouse ears on top of that red stone. That's number 1 count. Cornered on both sides.
Solid half. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Trying to hold the line late and not over curl. Ends up close to nose, maybe curl a little more than they would have liked.
che il garinino filo.
Guardalo là.
Retornaz having a long look at this one, not liking how the angles are playing out for his squad. And third Amos Mozaner will come in to discuss.
No, sa, non ti serve del pu, devi vederla. Guarda, si parla del pu.
La prima l'aveva letta un po' male, però secondo me.
Velocità?
Seconda, ma la velocità è spaccata, è tanto più indicata.
Vai nel mid.
Non era fantastico. No, no. Ma 8 and flop piante quella da verde.
Maybe trying to move both these yellows in the top of the 8-foot, catch it thin, and roll over to the yellow in the side of the 8-foot. Firm weight. He does lose 2 of the yellows. Pretty good result there from Mozaner. He's killed 6 stones, I believe, with his first 3 shots of this game. And all 6 counters as well.
Give me 12. 12.
12's like a, yeah, that's true.
Epping thinking the best way to set up this 2 is to hit the back stone. That will leave hit and roll for Retornaz on the number 1 counter in the top of the 8-foot.
Easy. Look at solid board. Whoa! Curl! 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 Hard on the roll. Hard on the roll.
Trying to roll in front of the other red. Pretty good shot there from Jake Horgan.
Yeah, good sweep. Yeah.
11.
Clean. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Clean.
Really need to get the roll in here if they can. Oh, really well done. Good touch from Mozaner. He has been sharp in the early going, 4 for 4.
9.5.
7 counters killed and a roll.
No, let's go 9.5.
Yep.
Horgan playing the short run. Yellow back to red to the number 1 counter. Big shot to try to set up a 2 or a 3 for his team. Needs to get up though. And just a little on the wide side. Jake frustrated with that throw. Always straight coming off the wall side on the end sheets.
Okay, try.
Osserrar sol. L'alternativa è questa, solo in giocare per force, questo va bene. Mi pareva che era messi anche a ben per rubare. Probabile che loro faranno una giocata per 2, quindi magari è più safe tirare. Sì.
Questa
La mia prima chiamata era al pont, per come l'era messa. Ma con lì quasi, Perché qua può non permetterne anche di stare tan così aperti.
Sì.
A 5.
Looks like the draw on the intern side.
Arrivare a freeze della noce, C'erano 5, quasi morder 6.
Playing the freeze.
Quasi.
Trying to set up a steal here if they can.
He's going to the back one? I think he's on the top 8.
I believe freezing to his own in the top of the 8-foot. Man that loves trucks, or at least truck hats. Joel Retornaz.
Oh, Joe. Whoa, clean. Line.
Good path here. Get this to outcount the yellow in the back of the 8-foot, but over curls and stops short. So opportunity to dig for Epping.
Stay right there. Yeah. Can you do that? Your shooter's got to be. Yeah, but if you create a pocket, it won't matter. Yeah, like if you bump something back 8, it's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. As long if you roll big, you got to be. We have to be second. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Roll big. Just make sure we're second.
Sure, at least fully in the 8.
Yeah. Still looks like it's a 12 and a half. Okay. Yep. 12 and a half. You have to stay full 8-foot. Okay.
So Epping trying to roll out wide, but make sure that they're still sitting 2. Create a better angle onto the back stone. Make it very difficult to lose both yellows.
Easy. Close. Curl.
Set it back just a little bit.
Straight. Whoa. Close. Curl. Straight. Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Hard roll.
Pretty good there from Epping. Doesn't roll quite as far as they would have liked, but does stay for shot rock. But the double is there for Retornaz.
That's okay. You had to make sure you're sitting 2. You can't get too cute.
Better
than what?
Okay.
Good job, bud. Yeah, you can't get too cute with that. Got to make sure that we're sitting 2.
Metade Missini. Easy peel.
Heard the call easy peel from Retornaz. So not throwing a bomb, but enough weight to make sure both go. Needs to hit a little less than 2/3, close to that.
Fais pour Mattia. La via des mains.
Big shot for Retornaz, trying to get his team out of a small jam. Makes the double. They will likely get a force.
Okay.
And over. That was just a little bit too thick, so it's a draw for 2 for Epping. after 2 ends.
He's got
Every day you go new places. A small change in how you do things, or moving your things to a whole new town, or many things to many towns all at once. No matter how small the move, it can be a big leap from where you are now. You've got it in you to go new places. So do we. We go there every day. We're here to help you move to places on the map, in the mind, in the heart, or all three.
Go new places with AMJ Campbell. Contact us at 888-AMJ-MOVE or amjcampbell.com.
Team Epping going right into the top 4-foot top button with that 2-0 lead over Joel Retornaz. Retornaz going to the corner guard. Need to manufacture some points, get their team on the board. Been chasing for the first couple ends. Corner guard made. Epping thinking maybe the rock is a little too deep into the house to throw the guard, so it's coming into the top of the rings. Will stop. Frozen right on the nose of that rock. Retornaz going to the corner guard, or going underneath the corner guard.
Linea buona. Linea buona. Vicina, linea. Linea buona. Oh. Linea buona. Anche linea. Linea molto buona. Linea perfetta. Sola linea. Linea sola.
Line looks good. That will be completely buried. Just backside of T-line. Can dig it out with soft weight.
If you take the guard,
well, what way is easier? Yeah, it's gonna go in here. Yep. 12 and a half.
What do we have here? See, I pop in during your game, you pop in during mine. That's just what we do for each other. Brent Lang, ladies and gentlemen. Mike may not be live as of yet, but I'm sure we can get it to be live.
Yep. Hack. Yep. Solid hack. Yep. Whoa! Curl! Whoa, straight! Roll it, Jake. Roll it, Jake.
Good dig from under that corner guard.
Giga per. Terzo.
Epping keeps the pressure on, sitting 3.
Terzo, tutta spufina.
The middle of the NQ.
I think I'm in.
There it is. Brent Lang in the building. Welcome, partner. How was dinner?
Dinner was great.
Where'd you go?
What's it called? Miss? I'd have to look it up. Miss Lily or something? It was a little tapas place. Bella loves to try lots of different things, and
Very
I thought
nice.
she deserved a reward after her child labor-filled day.
She doesn't get the $100 fee?
I don't think so.
Did you tell her that there was one?
No, I forgot to mention it.
Well, from what we could hear next to you guys, sounded like she did a very good job.
It was fun, for sure. And
Had
she
to be
was
fun for
super
you.
excited. And I didn't know you were doing the A game tonight, the old Ep dog.
Yeah, he's all over him early.
Yeah, looks
set up for 2 in the first and almost made 2 doubles. Then he made a 3rd double in the second end. And then a hit and roll, and they're still down 2-0.
They're definitely rolling this Team Epping. And we've got, is that, what's all the Team Canada jerseys back there? Is that elbows up kind of stuff, or is, what are we doing?
Didn't get the word on that. Pretended like I knew what was going on.
Tennis Canada next to us, but that seems like they're all up here.
Yeah, they're all getting well taken care of up in the VIP suite.
It's buzzing in here though, and this end's kind of gone to shit, eh? This is going to be a blank?
It looks that way as of now. First end was either going to be 2-3 or blank for Epping, and it was a blank. Second end was 2-3 or blank, and it was a 2.
What's going on with Team Retornaz? Have you seen much of their games? Did you do many of their games at the Worlds?
Yeah, we had a few of them. They just can't put ends together. And it's a consistency thing. There's great shot making, as we've seen in this game too with Mosaner, but it doesn't seem like it's all the guys at the same time at any point. And Armand gets hot, and then Mosaner misses one. Mosaner makes a pile, and then Joel doesn't finish the end off. It's just not there. It's not one specific thing, but you're not making 8 and end against this field. Every once in a while, you're not going to score. And that's been the biggest thing. They're not scoring points.
The one game I watched at the Worlds, they just made a bunch of, not a bunch, just a handful of little mistakes. Sweeping mistakes, line calls, weight, kind of a little bit of everything, and just rolling in the wrong direction.
We know what they're capable of. We've seen it a couple of years back with the 3 straight slam wins, #1 ranked in the world. And if you're going to have a lull, you want it to be before you get to play down season for the Olympics. And they certainly have some room to go up from what we've seen from this squad. In talking with Coach Brian Fry about their prep for the Olympics, thought it was interesting. He said he knows how much pressure they're going to face because they're going to be in their home country. So he wants to keep pressuring them in the lead up so that they're facing adversity all the time. Whether you agree with the move or not, he thinks that they'll be battle tested from it. I don't know that you want a team to feel adversity all the time, because the road there maybe isn't that fun. When you're
so he's somehow managing to force them to lose, to show them adversity. He's got that much power.
There it is. Yeah, hard to say. I didn't get specifics from him on exactly what he was going to do to put pressure on them, but he said he wanted them to feel the fire, to be pressured, so that when they get there, they'll have gone through everything and they're ready for it.
Well, they're definitely feeling the pressure now as the season's winding down. I mean, I guess they're not officially out this week, but they're damn close.
Yeah, 0-3 in the players is not necessarily eliminated, but 2-3, you're hoping for a tiebreaker at best. We have seen it before. Team Epping on the opposite end of things, 3-0 and rolling.
Let's punch their ticket somewhere and put them in the driver's seat to win the pool.
Yeah.
And do you know who they have left? I can look it up, but who's their last game against? Have they already won the pool if they win this game?
I would think that they're probably locked in the top spot.
Close.
Can't say for certain.
I know he plays tomorrow night. He plays Dunstone, so he does not have it wrapped up yet because they only have 1 loss. So
that game will probably be for the #1 seed.
Could be done. He's got to beat Mike first in the morning. And Mike's only got 1 loss, but it is to Epping. So Mike probably can't catch Epping if Epping, well, he definitely can unless this was a 3-way tie, which is possible. So lots of possibilities still. And that was my problem all the time. I'm not sure how you felt, Tyler, was, so let's say John wins this one. It doesn't matter how it happens. Let's say they all end up tied, and I don't even know if it's possible, but at 4-1. So Dunstone, Epping, and McEwen, they've each beat each other. They're each 1-1. Now based on a shootout, somebody's getting a bye to the Players' Championship instead of a quarterfinal. That always drove me nuts that was even possible. Especially when the Rogers Cup and the Capital One Cup, there's an extra 75 grand to the guy wins, to the guys who win that.
Yeah, those tiebreakers where you could have a bye or you could be tiebreaker or out in a lot of these terms, especially with our world level events where they have no tiebreaker games anymore. The last shot draw, if head-to-head doesn't decide things with multiple ties, can end up knocking you out of a world championship. And Brent, I don't know how you felt about that as a player. My thought was always, I don't care if we're playing a 12-game round robin, because that was their rationale. You've played enough games on the ice to decide it, so we're not playing any more games for it. I still always wanted it decided on the ice.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a clear head-to-head. Head-to-head, I'm fine. You beat me, I'm out. That's fine.
Sure, I could live with that.
You can live with that.
I don't think you had to ever deal with it either, because I never had to deal with that in our time. But I had to deal with it from a fan's perspective. And Jen coming back from Beijing saying we had the same record as Yves Muirhead in the round robin at the Olympics, and they got to go on and play, and we were out.
Yeah.
Based on, I think it was like 2 inches or something in the combined shootout. And they knew the rules going in. That wasn't the complaint. It just, that feels awfully severe.
With the quick break, in case you hadn't noticed, we're just going to talk straight through it here and keep going, because Brent's got some time to make up for.
Well, I didn't even notice they weren't shooting anymore. If there's...
just lose a bit of confidence, or just...
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste needs little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
Another blank here in our feature matchup. 2-0, Epping leading Retornaz onto the 4th end. On that tiebreaker topic, Brent, we did play one back in 2015 at the World Championships against Finland. Did not win that game, lost to Aku Kausta.
Oh, those guys were good for a little while, actually.
They were all right. I can tell you this, though, we outshot them so badly. This is the only time this has ever happened in my curling career. We outshot them so badly and lost the game, they apologized to us for winning afterwards. To give you an idea how that one went. So I don't know that we were real happy about the result.
I've played some tiebreakers over the years in the slams and in juniors, and I don't think ever in the Brier, definitely never at the Worlds, but it did always feel better to see, when this is the game that if we win, we're in, and if we lose, we're out. But that's changed, and that's the way it is. So until it changes, teams got to get used to it, and that's why the draw the button's so important. And when you're playing a team that you're probably going to be close with, and it's like we can't lose to these guys, right? You got to win the winnable games. And
problem being, those games are few and far between now with these fields.
Totally true. And
if you're looking for the team that should be your down game, you can't find it. It's probably you.
It's you. Yeah, that was what Italy was looking for at the Worlds.
Tough go for that squad. Always nice to have the berth in your pocket, too. But, again, a lot of time for them still to prep, get themselves ready.
I had dinner with 3 of them the other day. Mattia was out. I hear Love is in the Air from the Grand Slam of Karaoke, potentially. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I think I can. The duet that who knows where it leads, but Joel's eagerly awaiting the birth of baby baby Retornaz.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
So I think 2 weeks his wife is due, so he's on call. So I don't know if he has his phone in his pocket on the ice or not. But if he gets the call, he's out of here.
No, keep a close eye on that. I want it to happen. I want to see him book out now. That's a great made-for-TV moment.
And then Fry comes in to play against Epping and doesn't make
there
a
we
shot.
go. And absolutely wipes out. It's all right, boys. I got this. Peels off the jacket. Gets out there. Skin-tight jersey underneath.
He'd have the confidence. I don't know if he's still got it or not. He probably does.
Light a fire under the team. Why not? Tanner Horgan playing the intern. Again, Rocks piling up in the center of the sheet. 4-team Epping in total control of this game.
That's good.
John was gushing about the boys, the team this year, the year they've had, and I don't know if he knew they were listening or not, but when he was commentating this afternoon, and just said these guys work super hard, and actually called Ian McMillan their MVP secret weapon.
Wow.
Has played phenomenal, and not to take away from the Horgan fellas, the Horgan brothers, obviously they've played well too, and John's looked better than I've seen him in a long time. Looks like the skip I saw when we were playing together, and
confident.
Won the Canada Cup and won a Grand Slam, and we actually got to #1 in the world accidentally for a little bit.
That was with you on the team. So let's make that clear.
Yeah, with dead weight on the team too. Matt Cam at second, and I was playing lead at the time.
Good guy, Matt Cam.
And Fry, so John was making everything, and he looks like that again. So
John doesn't seem to pick bad teammates, I'll say. Like the guys that play with John seem to be good guys, good character guys all the time.
Yeah, he might tell you he got us a little late in our career, but
Do you hate this?
hard to say. We did have some success.
I'd love to say more good things about him, but he did back out of the commentary game with me tomorrow.
Do you like
I'm not real happy about that. I was looking forward to that.
I think you might have saw that he was with you. I don't know.
I can't come up with another reason. Pull out day before.
It's the
really pumped for this. Who I got? Oh, you with Ty.
He's got
guys, I'll tell you what, I didn't realize it was 11:30. You said,
I think it's
you said 11:30?
I replied to him and I said, no problem, John. I thought you'd be out by now too. And he obviously knew I was
You know what?
joking,
That's probably it.
He's got a bunch of people coming down from, where is he, the curling pro now? I want to say the Glencoe Club, but it's Glencoe's version of, the Toronto version of the Glencoe Club. And it's escaping me. It's not Bayview or Donalda, but anyway, he's got a bunch of club mates coming down, and he's supposed to meet with them and host them a little bit, and then they play. So this is
all over the nose. Does roll over to a guard though. If you're gonna miss it, that's the way to do it.
Not bad. Not good though.
Not fantastic.
Lee side could be Lee side members. I think it's the other one though. He's at a private poshy place now. It's where Victor was the curling pro before. I'll get to it, but it's going to take me a while. It's going to once Victor walks by, we'll know it. I've been there a million times. It's such an awesome facility. It's just escaping me right now. But
have you also noticed? We mentioned this before. Or I mentioned. There's no we. The royal we. Before you came into the booth, Joel's hat.
Trucks.
Yeah, trucks. So our sources, which are 2 feet away from us to the left again, said that he found it in a thrift shop and he just thought it was funny.
Just a cool hat. Yeah.
I was hoping he just loved trucks and he had it made. But that's not it. That's it. There is no story. That's it. Oh, look at the run. Great shot.
Okay, perfetta.
Armand with a beauty to get them out of trouble again, but Brent, they've just been chasing all game. They've needed these types of shots just to keep Epping off the board. There's been zero opportunity for Retornaz to attack and try to score as of yet.
Yeah, runbacks are great. Usually you want to get up a few and then make a whole bunch of them. It's hard to get up a few by making them. But lots of guards here, and this is a good chance for a deuce still. It doesn't look awesome just yet, but those red ones, they're all Italian stones, so.
This is the best look they've had to tell you how the game has gone so far.
You're good. Hard! Whoa, 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 whoa. Curl, curl, curl. Yeah, that's a big hill up there. Control, Jake.
Great draw there from Jake Horgan, top 4.
Sì, che forse ne dà vergente meno quella centrale. Meglio.
It just came to me in a text from Victor Schell. It's the Granite Club. Pretty much the nicest club you could ever be at. They've got absolutely everything. Thank you, Victor. If you're listening, I know you're not, but you're on your phone. That was frustrating because I've literally been there like 15 times.
How many Granite curling clubs are there in the world?
There's a lot. This is a curling club. There's tennis. There's figure skating. There's everything. It's like the Glen Club. You've been to the Glen Club in Calgary?
I've not. No, heard
it's
good
a
things.
full-on like private family sporting club. Needs to stick this one, and I think this is not going to do anything.
That's going to stay buried underneath.
You got to bend.
Yeah. Or you guard the boat right in the hole.
Try and take them both away.
Guard the boat? Guard them both.
I think he forgot the H.
Yeah, I heard boat. Did you hear boat?
Is that an American accent in the South or something? I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, if you're guarding, you're going here.
That's the lee side accent.
I don't like that.
I don't think I like that either. I think you go right around to the T line.
Right in.
Yeah.
Something
Make them make the run.
3-4 feet more, probably.
His concern is that they're running red in and they're buried if it's made, but second rock in is going to make it tougher anyways.
I think line's going to be on the men's side most of the way.
In turn, come around draw on the wall side for Jay Corgan.
Even if this slid behind the T line, I mean, there's not a lot of room to get in for a deuce, but right on the T line would be ideal. Jakey, as Johnny calls him, just celebrated his 25th birthday.
Still Ian.
He's been around a while to be only 25.
Yeah, straight.
Yeah, still looks like a pup too.
And he's got that baby face, but he is 25, so he's kind of earned it, and that's perfect. If you're going to walk it down, that's where you put it.
Now, when I got back from South Korea, Brent went straight to our charity event for 6 hours and tried to fit 3 days into 6 hours. The end of the night, the hotel lobby, did not know this, Tanner Horgan, killing it on the piano. Really, very accomplished pianist, apparently.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he was
I don't
great.
know these guys very well.
He had to ask me the next day if he was any good, because I don't think he remembered the
tipsy.
occasion. Well, it's a charity event.
Had he ever played before?
Yeah.
Or did it just come
I didn't
to him?
ask, yeah. He didn't say, like, I played? Are you kidding? No, he's very good. I'm surprised. So the talent we have out there, not just curlers, folks. Run back, peels off one of the rocks in the forefoot.
Not enough juice. And you can see how close they are and everything, and it just seems like if anything can go wrong, it's going to. Like both those shots were within.
Good throws.
Yeah, within the realm of last year, it feels like it would have been made.
Yeah.
But this year, just not quite. So good chance here for Epping now to guard this up with a yellow one and even bring it tight so that the red runner's not there.
So let's go to the end. On the or G. Yeah, you want to go? Don't. Yeah, just as long as you can. You can double them over. Yes.
On the M, you hear Johnny saying. Johnny's won the Players' Championship before.
He has. I think he... Did he shoot 100 in the final, or was it the semis?
That was a different one. No, I was involved in both of those.
Yeah.
He beat us in the semi shooting 100, made a crazy shot to win against Cooey.
Angle run, right?
Yeah, and then just played one of the best games ever curled by any curler against Gushu in the final and won a slam. But no, he won the Players' Championship, and I would have to guess that the year it would be maybe 11, 12, or 13. Probably 13, somewhere in there. It doesn't really matter the year. But it was out east in PEI, and he had Scott Howard on the team, and I still think that Glenn Howard laid down for his son in the final, but no, they straight up beat us in the final, and that was after.
Can't be proven though.
That was after they beat Martin in the semi. Like, jeez.
Yeah, get it over.
Johnny, what happened here? Pulled the string.
Whoa.
We need to close that hole though.
Yeah, if you're gonna be that high, that's about as good as you can leave it. Don't know if there's a. You can probably get through the port, but hard to.
Might
stay
be
buried.
And it might be a weight that you end up through the port all right and through. Don't even hit the one in the house.
Sorry, buddy. Back line's out.
Back line. He's chasing this rock.
Should get more curl on this side of the sheet, but that's a long ways to go to over curl with back line and move that stone.
Can't look good when
expression. I think he's like, yeah, you can throw it.
Do we have a secret broom? Do we have some? Do we have a fresh head here, or what do we got? I'm interested in this shot. These guys still have no fear, and they made these all year last year. This has to look like the hardest shot of his life from the hack, though.
That's got to go a long ways getting by, and it's really tough to make when you have to sweep it early because it's not going to be walking.
Needs a lot of jute here.
Ooh. How far will it move the counter? 2 feet.
Yeah, he's got a runner for 2 at the moment, and probably swept before the tee line.
Yeah, good point.
Don't think you did too much.
Might have to move it back to where it would have gone, huh?
Yeah, a millimeter.
Boy, Hack Wader on the nose and trouble again for Retornaz. Tough score.
I don't think it's necessary maybe to chase that. Like, he can come through there and chip it. Can he kill the draw?
Coming in again. Really likes this intern path.
He knows this one from Jake, and Jake made it look easy, so you could play this. You could play the out-turn draw and draw right past the red one pretty easily, right to the yellow.
He is leaving the tap on the nose, but not afraid to, apparently. That's why I thought Hack Wader, you make that, where's his shot to score, except for the run.
You got him for sure, and Johnny said that, and he just didn't love the look of it. So with a 2-point lead.
Trust the guy with the hot hand, playing the in-turn draw.
Line's good.
Too wide, need a little carve action here.
Yep.
Sweeper's going hard.
Put him in a room.
Looks real good now.
Just go, just keep going.
Just needs to get maybe half of the 4-foot to sit 2.
Yep.
And just a little short to get count, but
really
does make the
good.
run a lot tougher.
And no shot to come in and chip the red into the yellow and roll the shooter in for 2 either. That was the real key. What's the easiest shot for 1, I think?
It still looks like the tap.
It's definitely the tap. They're wondering if we can run something for 2. I guess you could, but
you can. Don't know if it means you should, but you can.
4th end. I think you take 1 here. That tap, Joel just threw it. And
Qua bisogna giocare per un quarto, va bene. Anche qua, backline di nuovo.
back line. Yeah, just like tap.
I mean, you're down 2-0. No, things haven't been going great, but you got to score.
Stay in the game, right?
Yeah.
And
this isn't down 4-0.
Not yet. If he throws this too hard and hits it on the nose, it is.
Yeah.
But for now, same shot he just threw, really. Same weight, and it didn't take off. They were trying to carve it at the end. It still didn't really take off, so.
Final shot, fourth end, Joel Retornaz, and to tap his redstone up to the button for a single point. It's by the guard, no problem. With the weight, they're thinking they need to play this a little thin. Yeah, nice shot. Well done from Joel. Gets their single. They are on the board. The Italians cut the deficit to 2-1 at the break.
Rio Mare. Great taste needs little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually.
The score says 2-1 on the board. John Epping has been in total control of this game so far. Carrying hammer now over to the fifth end, and after Mr. Lang was kind enough to come in on his night off after dinner with the fam. Another man who's kind enough to pop in and join me here. Coach of the Austrian national team, Mr. Brian Chick. Brian, great to have you, my friend.
Great to be here. Always a pleasure to attend this event, and very convenient for me because I live around the corner.
You are very close to here. I know this because you and I have spent a little time in the establishment across the street together, you know, on occasion.
And I believe you've been to my house, which is
I've
about
been there a few times
short,
as well.
short walk. No, I love this event every year when the curling world comes to my front door, and obviously get to see some friends that I don't always get to see.
And Brian, as is customary when we have guests come into the booth, you get to pop what you're doing right now. And for you, just coming off the World Championships with your squad from Austria, saw a lot of growth from that team throughout the week, and you and I talked during the event about that, and that's really what you're hoping to see is those, you know, small improvements as the week went on, and we definitely saw that.
Yeah, that team is on the rise, I guess you could say. That they qualified for A group at the Europeans. They finished 8th, which I don't know if that was on their radar as far as, you know, ranking that high and earning a berth in the World Championship. So when they did that and they ended up at the Worlds, it was already like playing with house money. They really kind of overachieved by what they kind of thought was possible.
Which is coaching, obviously.
Oh, no, so this is before my time, I'm afraid. So, but
you didn't have to say that.
No, because the other half of the story is that they still felt that they were lacking something in the coaching department. They weren't getting what they needed from the previous coach, and so after Europeans and heading into Worlds, they didn't think that they had what they needed, and they gave me a call and said, hey, do you want to sit in for the next couple months? So it was only in January when I got involved with this team, and at that point they already had the berth at the World Championships, and so it's like, okay, you got 2 months do what you can do. So I went to Austria for basically a long weekend training camp. We did a lot of Zoom calls, and then the World Championships themselves were just a learning experience. Try to get a little bit better every day. Try to do a few things a bit better, we wanted to win a game or two, which we did. We got a win. Didn't finish last place, which was always a bonus, and but more importantly, I think we took a lot of lessons away from that week.
Epping once again rocking the top of the forefoot and coming around, keeping Team Retornaz chasing, as we've seen throughout the first half. And Brian, it was apparent for those of us watching in the booth as well, too, that they were enjoying the experience and getting to wear your country's colors and flag in front of a massive crowd. I'm sure the biggest that they'd ever played in front of. We were in Lochia for the European Championships, and they didn't have seats. There was no crowd, so much different experience in Moose Jaw in front of 5,000 people and a worldwide audience. And even in the big moments, seemed like the game against Canada, they acquitted themselves very well. Handled the moment well.
So that one was our last game of the week was against Canada. I mean, we knew we were out of it. Obviously, we were with our one win, but Canada, I think, had already clinched first place, so it really didn't mean that much to them either. But it was a Friday afternoon. The building was full. There was a lot of energy.
Great shot there from Armand once again. Italy still chasing, but big angle run in.
Or do you want change?
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
So anyway, the Friday afternoon game was a lot of fun, and we knew that there was nothing on the line. So I just said, go out and soak this in, because this is the coolest event, coolest game you're probably going to play maybe in your life. In sold-out building, I think there were 4,500 people in that arena, and on national TV across Canada and certain broadcasts around the world. And I said, go enjoy this, and they really, really did.
It's funny how it works too. You tend to play a little better when you actually enjoy the moment, and that game was a very competitive game. They really played
competitive
well.
enough. I mean, no surprise, Canada was a little sharper than we were, but what I loved most about it was the attitude that we took into it. Is that you could tell the guys were playing loose and that they were having fun, and we were getting outplayed, but I mean, not by a ton, and kept it respectable. Put some point on the board. And hung in, I think, for 7 ends, which is more than a lot of people can say against a team like Jacobs. So we were happy with that. But the whole week was, like I keep saying, was a learning experience, just trying to get a little bit better every time. And then their focus is, they're already looking ahead to Europeans again in November, and then probably the Olympic pre-qualifying tournament, wherever that might be.
Hit and roll to the center here from Armand once again. Great pair from him. Gets a piece underneath. Epping very content to roll back away and try to play for the blank or the two if it presents itself. Tanner Horgan. In-turn hit attempt. Brian, throughout the week we've seen ice has some tracks in it that are a little bit tricky, but it's very consistent. When you know what a line is going to do, it does that repeatedly. It's not that it's changing throughout. Of course, we're seeing a little straighter coming off the crowd side, as always tends to be the case in arenas. So a little bit more curl, and the weight comes off, especially going towards the boards. The one thing that we've seen consistent, well, two things. One, striking bands in the house is not near as live as what we've seen in previous slams or previous major events. So hitting a stone where you believe you need to get a roll, it's not going as far as teams expect. And rocks aren't carrying as far in the house either. So we've seen a lot of shots where sweepers are off a stone until the final 10, 15 feet, and then all of a sudden panic sweep and it ends up short. So the houses are a little bit slow, striking band's a little bit soft, but it's been that way the entire week. Players have made the adjustment, but the consistent misses that we see on soft weight shots, hit and roll type shots, is under rolling, where you're hitting where you think is pretty close and it's just not coming off strong enough.
We saw a bit of that at the Worlds too. We found that if a rock was sitting in the house for more than a shot or two, it got a little stuck. So you really had to pop it a little bit harder than you wanted if you were going to try to either move it a little bit or get that roll off. It just, I don't know if it was the surface or the running band, whatever it was. Something was a little sticky. So if a rock sat there too long, you had to throw a little extra to move it.
Good touch again there from Jake Horgan, getting a piece underneath the center guard. And I think for the fans watching at home, too, you'd be surprised how much of an adjustment that can be for players when you play a 12-game round robin on a specific type of ice surface with specific types of rocks and striking bands, and then going immediately to play in another major tournament, that the muscle memory and the brain is really wired into what you've been doing for a week and a half leading up to that, and you have to wipe that clean. And it's so easy for your mind to go back to what you're used to in that very recent past, even for the elite teams.
Well, I think the other thing is coming right off a 12-game, and in some cases a 13 or a 14-game week if you're in the playoffs, 1 day of rest, and then you're back in action on Tuesday after flying across the country. The fatigue is real, and you notice that a lot of the teams that were at that World Championship last week aren't necessarily performing at their best. I mean, I guess Mowat's doing okay, and but a lot of the other national representatives aren't really dominating here like they might have if they were a little bit fresher. I'll just be honest and say one of the things that I spoke to my Austrian guys about was that we were definitely fatigued.
Right.
And we had a 5-man team. We were rotating our front end, so not everybody had to play all 12 games, at the front end anyway. And even so, they were just bagged by the end of the week. And, you know, it's a new experience. It's a lot of games. But I said, if you look at the top teams, their fitness level is above and beyond what we are. And that is definitely something we could spend some time working on.
Okay.
Again, this end playing into Epping's hands. Odd end, second half of the game, playing 0 or 2. Retornaz is going to take a good go at getting the roll underneath now. Try to at least make Epping's first a little bit more difficult. Out turn, hit and roll for Retornaz.
Not a lot of weight on this one. I expect him to throw this one a little bit harder because he is looking for a pretty flat roll.
Flat roll, yes. This is curling now, too. So decision time for Epping if this does roll off the paint, which looks like it will. Do you peel the center or try to play for your cheap 2 going around it? I think John
expect the peel. Yeah,
he's been in control of this game throughout.
Yeah, rip it, take your blank, and then try to score in 6.
It's interesting, you know, watching this game too, that Epping has been in no trouble at any point. They're going to get their third blank of the game. Retornaz did have one of those. 1 deuce. So the score is 2-1. It seems like he's up 4 or 5 just with the flow of the game.
Yeah, that is a weird psychology thing where, you know, you're getting outplayed, but somehow it's still only a 1-point game. And it's something we saw a lot of where Austria was hanging around in some games. And maybe we're only down by 1 or 2, but it felt like it was about 7.
Right.
And I just tried to talk to the guys. It's only 1 point. You know, you get your deuce back or you steal one end and we're right back in this thing. And it's just a mentality thing. So even though Italy might know, you know, that they're getting outplayed, the scoreboard still only says it's 1 point. So that's what you have to believe.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to look at the scoreboard because that's what's demoralizing for you. For them, you do. You want to look at it and say, boy, we've been chasing, we've been getting outplayed, but we're down a point. And early in the game, it was Amos Mosaner that was keeping it close. He cleared 7 counters with his first 4 shots in the game, 3 doubles, and then a hit and roll under cover on his fourth shot, or we could be looking at a blowout early in the game.
I was wandering around the arena earlier, kind of watching all 4 games at the same time, running into friends and whatnot, so I didn't have a close look at that particular game, but it did seem every time I was looking down that Epping was definitely in charge and Italy was chasing.
You see those fans in the stands too with the banana outfits if you were watching the slams earlier in the season. Those gentlemen were in the crowd and cheering for Peels. They did not endear themselves to the rest of the crowd when they refused to cheer for Peels for non-Canadian teams. So the Canadian fans were booing the other Canadian fans for not just cheering for every Peel. So we'll see what they do for the rest of this tournament, but blank again for Epping. They do their job in the 5th and carry hammer to the 6th, leading 2-1 over Retornaz.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Epping does retain hammer. On to the 6th then with the 2-1 lead. Retornaz is going to have to push the action at some point. Again, I'm Tyler George, the revolving door of characters coming into the booth tonight. Good friend Brian Chick sitting next to me right now. Brian just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the arena. We were talking earlier today too, Brian, as Isabella Verano was in the booth with me for the afternoon game, about your favorite events to play in, not counting charity events, which are disqualified. That's the point for them to be fun, but actual competitive events. And we both said the Players was probably our favorite competitive event outside of Continental Cup or things like that, which are exhibition type events. And a lot of that's due to the vibe with this tournament, where throughout the entire season, you're playing with a purpose. You're playing for points. You're playing to get World Championship qualification. You're playing to get other Slam qualification. And then you play here, and it's the most prestigious event on tour with the top 12 teams in the world for the men and the women. But there's nothing to play for except for maybe next season's points and the money that you get for winning games here. But the teams that are here, if they're in their top 12, then they're probably going to be in the first Slam for next season already. So it's a really different vibe. Downtown Toronto, really fun atmosphere. The players are done with their major competitive seasons, their playdowns, things like that. So it's still highly competitive, but you don't have the weight of playdowns and everything else that you're trying to accomplish on your shoulders as you're playing.
I always equate this one to the last week of school.
Sure.
You know, where you're just counting down the days till it's summer vacation, and everybody's in a really good mood. Nobody, like, teachers aren't trying to teach anything anymore. It's just like, let's get to the finish line here. But like you said, the location. First of all, this building is incredible. I've lived on this block for 20 years, and I knew it as the old Maple Leaf Gardens. I saw it go through the renovation. I saw it get turned into the Mattamy Center. And when they did the first Players here in 2013, it was just like, this was just match made in heaven for me, because it was just all of the curling world comes to my front door in this really cool arena. But I know the players love it too because of the location, not only the building, but you're in downtown Toronto. Most of the time you spend the season, crisscrossing, usually in Canada, going to small towns or medium-sized cities in Saskatchewan or Alberta, or sometimes the East Coast, sometimes the West Coast, but you're not necessarily in a metropolitan area where you can go see a Blue Jays game or a Leafs game, or sometimes your restaurant selection's a little bit limited. In downtown Toronto, you've got absolutely everything. The hotel is literally next door, so you can walk around. You don't need to rely on transportation or anything. And yeah, like I said, it's got that last day of school vibe where everybody's just really in a good mood. Win or lose, go out, play your games, but then probably go out for a nice dinner afterwards.
Great start from the Leeds once again here in the 6th end. Ian Millen with this great pair to the top of the forefoot, but Sebastiano Armand able to jiggle those up, move one to the back of the forefoot. Epping immediately going to the center guard. Peel.
Kind of anticipated John would be a little bit more aggressive in this 6th end, try to score, really kind of, he gets a deuce here. The game's not over, but it certainly headed that way. But also doesn't want to leave Retornaz any opportunity to generate a steal here. So gets rid of these center guards, and he probably will still have a crack at a deuce later on.
These types of games kind of scare you a little bit, as you could dominate the entire game the way that they have. It really only takes one blip to turn this game on its head. So I think Epping's doing everything they should be doing. Not saying that they should be pressing harder. In this type of situation, you're looking for your opportunity for a 2 if it presents itself, but even scoring, you're in very good shape to win the game. But it's just a little uncomfortable when you feel like you've outplayed your opponent to the degree that they have, and you're not pulling away in the least bit. It's still within range. And you're literally talking one shot could completely change the game with a 1-point lead. One steal by Retornaz, and now it's 2-2, 2 ends to play. You're still the favorite, but it's a little more of a coin toss, and you're kind of like, how did we get here?
That's exactly why John's peeling those guards. He really wants,
great shot there too,
wants to make sure he has an opportunity to score his easy single or maybe a cheesy deuce, but last thing he wants is to give the Italians a chance to lock one in there behind cover. So another peel coming up, trying to get the second red moving as well.
I'd love to hit maybe a third, get this over the top of the other red in the top of the 8-foot and get both out. Tanner Horgan with the peel, slashing it towards that counter.
Trying to help the curl a little bit, and needed to go another half-inch.
Papers by that stone. Retornaz debating coming in and moving stones or throwing another guard. I think another guard is the call, still with 4 rocks left for each team. Joel will throw the guard.
Yeah, you know if Amos throws the guard here that John will peel it, maybe try to take on that run pick again.
This one very high and under curls, and that will leave the 4-foot open. Yeah, they're happy to try to get a lot of granite moving again here.
Yeah, that guard not really effective at blocking much, very useful. So I think you'll see John try to play the yellow onto the red on the button and then maybe kick over, get the other red out the side.
Thin 2/3.
6.5.
Thin 2/3.
I say it every time I do a broadcast, but I love how different teams break up their fractions.
Yeah. I say thin half. I'll say thin third somewhere.
I've heard
thin 2/3.
I've heard 5/6 a couple times, or
7/8, not unusual.
Yeah. But yeah, a thin 2/3 might just be.
That's a different one.
A thick half.
A little wobble. Interesting route there for Jay Corrigan. Gets the Reds moving. Yellow shot.
Better than it was. That's not ideal, but better than it was for Epping.
It's less dangerous for a steal than it was before. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that was definitely the thick 2/3, not the thin 2/3 they were looking for. Needed closer to a half on that one.
E
adesso si è un pochino.
potete anche a giocare questo se volete.
Amos is going to come down and have a little chat with Joel here and
In questo qua hanno il polvo Ciartan qua.
discuss their options.
Qua bisogna rollare. Sono d'accordo. Qua giusti. Girolles qua non è male perché lì dopo la testa. Basta roll qua.
This is always the time as a coach where you're in one of two minds. One is, I know exactly what to do, call a timeout, I can help. And the other one is, if you don't know what to do, I don't know what to do either. So please don't call a timeout. In this case, I do have an opinion, though.
I think Coach Fry probably has one as well.
He usually does. I think the freeze on the button is probably the call for now.
I'd be surprised if they didn't use a timeout in this situation, as you have two in the slams. Getting later into the game, clock isn't a problem, but wouldn't be the worst thing to have a chat about this situation now. This could be the turning point in the game, too.
Yeah, like we said earlier, if Epping can even score here, that really puts the game in his favor. If he ever gets two, it's verging on over. So there's your timeout. They've called it, and here comes Ryan Fry to offer an opinion.
The only thing with the tap, as I said, is like if we tap it too hard, he's playing this flash, he stays 1 and 2.
Yeah, my thought was trying to kill that one and stay on their leg. I mean, that guard's wrong. You got some options to score.
That was my first call too. So. Yeah. Quite good.
Pretty emphatic call from 2014 Olympic gold medalist. Into play, freeze or tap around the intern side.
That's a little surprising. I feel like it's
the turn is
a little more natural the other way.
But the shot is not surprising, but the turn definitely is. That tells you how comfortable they are with this side. And we saw both teams, Ryan, before you made your illustrious appearance here in the booth. They like this turn coming around here. Both John Epping and Jay Corgan made intern draws around this path.
Yeah, I did see that with Epping's last in the fourth, I suppose. And that, I don't think is what they wanted.
That is mid-guard, mid-tight guard. And
I think a little hack weight hit and roll here, and Retornaz would be in trouble if John does that. Off the red.
This may be a timeout spot for Epping as well.
As you said, time not an issue. They both have lots.
So he freezes, so we feel he freezes, then we do this.
Well, you'll be shot.
And no coach on the bench for Epping either, so the only reason you're calling timeout is just to bank time. Listen in to what John has to say.
Like top 4? Like he can come off that, but it's so
True, but if we're here, it's no good.
Yeah.
And if you're here, you overcurls and you get
Mica avevo 4,40 la guardia e giocate, questa 4,10.
Well, then he's freezing if I don't.
No, but if you roll,
Prima io la chiamare su di linea questa.
how does he get shot? No. I know you have to make it, but we know this spot really well. I think if you get right there, I'm not sure. You can make the, whatever, run something in, I draw top 4. I like this, I just not sure we need to do that. That's not...
No, può anche tirare, ho messo anche lì, e se giocava in una guardia,
And if you're there,
perché ne ha sempre quelli no.
Because he's going to come in and it's going to... I know it's thin, but he makes it. It's... Yeah. Yeah, we got options. Yeah.
Like a hack? Hack?
Whatever way you like. 12?
I think they've settled on the hit and roll on the back red, and like I said, that was my instinct off the top. The double they're worried about coming off the yellow on the right side of your screen as we're looking at it, it's really steep.
Yeah,
you got to hit that so thin to make contact with the second one.
And they were talking about playing the freeze, and John was worried that makes that shot easier.
Exactly.
It's less steep with a rock higher to get all three moving. So they're content just to hit this back stone and roll in. And now this is the first time that they're really attacking with back end stones to try to score multiple points. Really could put the clamps on this game if you can find a 2 or a 3 here. Jake Horgan playing the intern hit and roll.
Real quiet weight, looking at maybe just hack.
This is turning over hard. Good hold on the sweep from McMillan. Rolls to.
That's a pretty good spot,
four.
actually.
I think that's pretty good. It does leave so that you could tap to a pocket.
Yeah, it maybe rolled half a rock more than they wanted, but
dead behind it would have been great.
Yeah, I just think that the ports being set up the way they are, it's tough to use that. But like you said, the tap is there, but you got to tap freeze, and it's got to be really good, or Epping's going to put up a big number.
If you don't kill it, that's it.
It helped.
Your facial expression showed it. I mean, yeah, he can make it pretty good, but if he doesn't,
This is definitely doable. You just have to throw back 4 weight and kind of hit half a rock.
nice thing is, even if he does, I think I've got the intern in the wrong pocket, which we know really well.
So Retornaz playing the outturned tap.
Vicino, light, che perfetta, ancora che perfetta, ancora.
Needs to move this stone. And that's what we've seen on that side, especially, Brian. Speed really coming off.
We're 2, bud.
And rock's not carrying as much in the final 10, 20 feet.
He's playing that tap and trying to get shot.
Yeah, can he play the triple? Yeah, I guess it goes in.
Yeah, that red does seem to be second shot, I think. Although
yeah, it looks to be. I think it's pretty safely second. Yeah.
I thought John Epping indicated that they were 2, but it's not what it looks like from here.
We've been wrong on the overhead many times, but it looks pretty safely red.
Triple, but whatever. Unless I bump ours in.
I do love this level of play because, when you're worried about leaving your opponent this borderline impossible triple.
Yeah, I remember when I feel like when we were playing competitively. Yeah, we'll make him play the run. Now it's we can't leave him the angle run triple. I mean, he's going to make that.
Yeah.
Because he can't do much.
If you get to know too much, is it bad? Because then it just kind of makes it all easier for him.
Time out.
Now they will take a timeout.
Like
10:38 remaining for Epping.
Makes the triple.
Still lots of time to play 2 runs and 2 rocks, but might as well stop the clock while you have a bit of a discussion.
He taps, I'm going to have such a good angle now. But I guess he taps at a rock, it's a tough deuce. Which is fine. Because I'll have this guy. Do you see anything else, boys? Well, no, because then he makes that triple again. I think you want to be there.
One rock is good.
Okay. Why? But our yellow's going to be there so that it's going to be right there. Do you and me? I think so. You're okay with this? Yep. Yeah. What do you think? Unless you see something else, boys, I don't.
If you're just playing to make sure you score, you can definitely guard in this spot. John seems to think if he comes in, sets up the right angle, freezing on that red stone in the top of the forefoot, that if Retornaz decides to try to move the stones to get their steal, that he'll have a shot to clear that. That was the discussion.
Yeah, I just going back to that conversation, but I don't.
Line's good.
In this case, I don't mind leaving him the triple because I just don't think it's that natural. Of course, famous last words, he goes and makes it, and I look like an idiot. But this one, you just want to leave here. Don't over curl it.
Yep, stay on it. Stay on it.
Probably job done. That actually might have done the job of taking it away from both sides, because I think that was part of the problem, that they could still get to it with the intern.
It does stop short of where they were initially going for, but if you're going to play the steal, you may have to come off of that yellow on the top of the 8-foot.
He's coming in off the top. It's just too bad.
No.
Sorry.
Sì, anche a me, ma non si
Kind of what I wanted to give you, and that wasn't what we needed. I did. I got it out there. I was like, oh.
Looks like they're going to take it on. Really just want to scrape off this yellow and just get the redirect onto the red.
Maybe possibly sit two if this is made perfectly too. If you just make contact on that back yellow stone in the back of the forefoot. And that's the idea. I mean, if you can bring steal of 2 into the picture, that's the one that changes your percentage chance of winning the game considerably.
This is super precise, though. You need to hit just an inch or less of this rock. About an 1/8.
Retornaz playing the redirect off the yellow stone in the top of the 8-foot. Very close.
Just looking for a piece of it.
Oh, look at that shot.
Just like that.
Does get shot, but does not stay in a good spot.
Seems like a gimme double for 3 for sure.
Yeah, this is a quick call from Mr. Epping, and so close. Needed to be, I guess, a hair thicker on the one.
Yeah, needed a bigger roll off that. Hit it too thin. So John's got hit half a rock, or even what you can see of that red. Both reds go easy, and if you can keep your shooter, it's for 4.
Big spot Epping can hit on this stone to lose both, probably for the game. Epping's last here in the 6th. Been waiting for this opportunity throughout the game. Good clean throw from John.
Looks like it's all right.
That'll do for 3.
Uses that catcher on the side, keeps the shooter in the back. 3 on the board. Epping up 5-1 with 2 to play.
Wonderful stuff from John. Will be a 4-point lead.
It's just a matter of patience. They're just waiting for their moment. They knew it was going to come. When you're outplaying somebody, you just have to wait for that chance, and it eventually came.
So after 6 ends, Epping now does lead 5-1 over Retornaz. On to the 7th
looks like
end.
handshakes there.
No, they are going to shake. A little surprising. With the way the week was going, Retornaz decides that's enough for them. So handshakes means 5-1 victory for John Epping here in their home region.
John doesn't live too far away, just about 10 minutes east of here.
So Epping 4-0 now. Has not clinched the top seed out of their group or a bye into the semifinal round as of yet, depending on what happens in other games in a big matchup against Matt Dunstone coming tomorrow. But that will wrap up our coverage for this evening's draw. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. once again. More feature matchups.
I won't be here.
Brian
for that
and
one.
I will not.
I will not
I'm
be
off
there
for the morning as well. But we, as a group, will be back. So for Tyler George, Brent Lang, Brian Chick, the Grand Slam of Curling, and the Home Team Network, signing off. We will see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and off-break curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!